Hello everyone, my name is Ryan and welcome back to another video. But before I begin this video, I do have to say that this video may or may not be school appropriate and appropriate for young audiences, including kids under the age of 13 YouTube. Are you happy now? Okay, so with that out of the way, and me clarifying that this video is in fact not designed for kids, though if kids are the main audience, it is not my fault. Yeah, I think that covers the new children's rights or whatever. Anyways, we're back with another episode of Lego gun augmentations, part 6. That's right, part 6. You already saw part 4 where I revealed all the augmentations. You saw part 5 where I showed you a gun that actually works. Now prepare for part 6, my friend. So, what did I do in this episode? Well, I did one of two things. Well, actually, I did two of two things. So, the first thing I did was fix the stock of the gun, which I promised that I would work on in the last episode. The second thing I did was take a viewer recommendation. Someone suggested that I should construct the AUG from CSGO. This is actually amazing. Let me show you right now. This, my friend, is the AUG from CSGO in Lego. And when you look at it, it's actually really quite simple. It looks intimidating, I know it is, but it looks really quite simple. Let me show you this before I get on to how the stock works. I took inspiration off of this reference image over here. As you can see, I tried mimicking the scope as close as possible. I added a short barrel. I definitely made sure I added attention to detail to the stock, which is very large. I attached the magazine on the back, and I added a foregrip. So you're thinking, yes, this is quite impressive, but what the most impressive thing, oh, I forgot to mention, I also added this cool thing over here. I'm not sure what that would serve in real life, but I added that over there. And it really does look like an AUG from CSGO. So I can only assume. I've never actually played the game, so I'm just going to assume this is actually pretty realistic. And it's quite awesome, isn't it? So everything is actually pretty standard. The magazine, of course, is the basic magazine. The scope is the basic scope. The foregrip is the same foregrip. And the barrel, of course, is just a short barrel. Now, the only thing I did here was that I took the long barrel and bent it, and B, attached a little bit of a peg down here so that it would be more stable. This isn't actually a proper connection, by the way. It's just a normal... There's a normal brick on another brick. This isn't actually how you're supposed to properly attach it, but I just did it anyways because it works. It works, and I think it looks pretty cool. As you may notice, the stock is really large, and it's large because that's quite common with most AUGs. Or, yeah, I think that said that right. So you'll notice at the back we have the big extended stock, and you'll notice on the front we have two of these things. Basically, this part here is actually the part that's supposed to come with the stock, and this part here is actually the foregrip that looks exactly like the stock, and so I attached it on here to make it look like an extended stock. Now, when I take everything off, you'll notice that the biggest change would probably be to the normal stock backrest over here. So now that most of the unimportant necessities are taken off, you can see very clearly here that the stock doesn't really look too different. The only main difference here is that I reinforced the back. Instead of using a hollow piece or hollow door pieces, I added solid bricks and a bit of a curve over there just to make it more stable and look a bit cooler. Now over here you may notice there's not much of a change, but let me show you in a second, because what's cool about this is that you can actually detach it properly now. As you can see, there are no studs or bricks on the bottom attaching it, and it's pretty cool. Let me just show you. So the main modification I made to this is that instead of just, attaching it to the bottom, you may notice that that brick on the bottom is smooth, and inside we have kind of like one of those peggy connector things. So how I've made it work is that instead of just, clicking it on some bricks, which is very fragile, I've added some, I can't remember what you call these, but I've added these to the end over here. Now these basically clip onto that, these clips basically clip onto that, and thus makes it pretty much 10 times more stable. Or really stable. Now, that's pretty much all I've done for this episode of gun augmentations, except for one more small thing. If you look at the stock, you may notice that the back, I have moved these holes or Technic pegs or Technic holes back a bit as they used to be over here. So what this means is that if you take this piece, for example, which I recently just made, you can attach it back here and clip it on. And you can do this. Now the purpose of this is basically, so remember how in the last video I told you that I had 3 extra bullets, or the last video, I had 3 extra bullets and I didn't know what to do with them because they couldn't fit in the magazine? Well, this is what I did. I basically put all 3 of them onto a single 1x3 piece, attached a snap brick on it, made it more stable. So you can either hold it around like this, or it can attach to the back like so, and have it like 3 extra bullets on the back of this stock, which I think is a pretty cool small feature. Anyways, this is me. This has been another episode of Gun Augmentations, and I'll see you in the next one. It's actually relatively quick. If you have any other recommendations of different types of guns I could possibly make, let me know, and I'll see you next one. Adios. Bye. What should I call this video?